Old and Achy here with another Halo 4 campaign mission walkthrough, and today I'm going to show you how to get the first of the 2 weekly campaign challenges for the week of November 18th to the 24th, which is Mythic SLASO, which requires you to complete the Dawn mission solo on legendary difficulty with all skulls on. And here we are setting the mission up. You can see that all the skulls are turned on. And as we go into the start of the mission, before we really get into any action, I want to briefly talk about the effect of the blind skull, which eliminates your entire HUD, your heads-up display, including your sight or reticule for the weapon. And how I overcome that is to go into a custom game with a DMR loadout, point my DMR at a light-colored wall, and then take about a 3-inch piece of tape, fold one end over, but place the tape on my monitor right around the reticule, and then take a black Sharpie and on the tape circle in the inside of the reticule, circle in the dot, blacken it in. And you now have a sight even with the blind skull on. Now as far as the rest of the HUD, the only thing that I can say is that if you hit the back key, you will know which weapon you have in hand as your primary weapon. Which is a good thing to know, and you will see that in this particular mission that I use the back key to check my weapon. It won't tell me how much ammo I have. It won't tell me anything else other than just the weapon. But anyway, as we start, I picked up that pistol that was lying there, and we're off and running. And I also hit the reload key just to make sure that I had a full clip in there. You only get about 8 rounds because of Famine Skull. And we go running down this using this path to this door. That's the Didact scanning us. The doorway will open, and we run through here to the elevator doors, and go ahead and select the door, and then tap your select key to open the door. And for me, that's the right bumper. For most people, I'm sure it is as well. Anyway, when we regain control, we use the left stick to climb. I'm sure everybody knows how to do this by now. When the chief looks left, push your stick left. When the chief looks right, push your stick to right. Right again. Okay, and then push it straight to climb. Push it straight to climb. Okay, he looks left, turn left, push straight, and look up. And now the elevator shaft. Go ahead and melee this elite here. If you don't, he'll slice you and throw you off the edge. Okay, when we regain control, we've got the pistol as our primary. Notice that there was a pistol lying there. You can hardly see it. But anyway, let's run up here and assassinate this elite. I actually did a backsmack that time. I was trying to assassinate him, but normally I do it with animation. Then you've got 8 grunts to take out. And count them, because we're going to save the last grunt for a melee, because with Black Eye Skull on, the only way you can get your shields back is to do a melee. So I think that's about 5 or 6. Maybe that's... Yeah, that was 7. And now I'll take out the 8th grunt with the melee. You got to hit them 4 times. The melee in the front, that's with Mythic and Tilt on, because of his double health and extra shielding, whatever. Now you notice I swapped out the AR for a plasma pistol, and then I swapped that plasma pistol again. I'm looking for one with more juice in it. We come up here and open the blast shield doors. Come on down here, and I'm going to take this container here and roll it out of the way. Because when the boarding craft, or the boarding tubes, punch through the glass windows here, plexiglass, whatever they are, they'll create a partial vacuum and things will just go flying. So we want that stuff out of the way. Okay, here comes the boarding craft. There's going to be an elite and 4 grunts on each one. We want to take out the elite here. So as soon as he jumps out, I jump and assassinate again. Normally I try to go for the animation, but this time I just got him with the back smack. And go ahead, and now we've got a bunch of grunts and that second elite to take out. Notice I can't back out of the room. They will not follow me out of that room in there, out of the observation deck. So I'm just taking the grunts out first. I'm not worrying about that elite. I'm not really sure how many I've taken out so far. Okay. Now sometimes after I take out that first elite, I can actually take out 2 or 3 grunts with backsmacks or assassinations before I run back out of the room. This time I wasn't so good at it. That's okay, I'm just taking my time here. Again, you know, with all skulls on, you got black eye on, so you're not getting your shields regenerated. You got to be a little concerned about that, especially when you're taking fire. And one thing about Halo 4 is, unlike Reach, you can't tell when when you're down to almost no health. You don't get that heartbeat sound. Okay, so you could be almost completely out of shields and health and not realize it. Okay, I think we're just about out of grunts here. Yeah. Another thing with blind, you don't have your motion sensor, so you got to kind of listen for stuff. Whoops. Okay, you notice what I was doing here. When he crossed over from left to right, I came out and tried to backsmack him. He just didn't go far enough. Now there are other approaches to take this elite out as well. You could run down through the center quarter there. Okay, here he goes. Boom, there he goes. Backsmack and he's done. But there are other approaches, and there are other walkthrough videos that show you those approaches. Mythic Tyrant has got one, I believe.
We've got a cruiser on an intercept course.
But I found that the approach that I just used is the safest. And has a, you know,
only the Hyperion missiles.
The other one requires, the other approaches require the elite to take certain actions after you run down towards the end of the observation deck. And sometimes he does it, and sometimes he doesn't. So, but eventually he will walk past that doorway to the right and keep going, and that's when you can rush out and backsmack him. Okay, next up we have an elite and 2 grunts to deal with, and I'm going to try to take the grunts out first, or at least one of them. As the door opens, I'm just peeking around the corner here. I've got my pistol out as a primary weapon, and I got one of the grunts. The other one will retreat. Looks like they're an elite retreated as well. You notice they were throwing grenades at me. We're going to encounter that for the rest of the mission. I fired down there to try to draw the elite out, because I'm going to take him next. Okay, good. I got him moving now. Alright, now notice that he's starting to throw grenades at me. I want to get him throwing grenades. And continue to throw grenades. Okay, and I just back off here. And on the third one there, I just rushed after he threw the grenade. And the idea here actually was to get past him and turn and backsmack him while he was in a grenade throwing animation, but he didn't cooperate. Sometimes you can run, and you know he will run right by you, and you can turn around and backsmack him. Notice that grunt went suicidal. And that's why after I did the backsmack here on the elite, I went back to the back of the room because the damn door closed on me. Alright, what I'm doing here is I'm looking for his storm rifle, because I'm going to use that to juggle weapons. I'm not quite sure where it went. I'm kind of looking around. Actually, I think I got it. So, I opened the door up, and now we've got an elite and 3 grunts to deal with. And I'm going to deal with the grunts first. I'm going to use a different technique on that elite. Alright, it looks like, you know, sometimes these grunts will kind of peel off to the side here. And I'm throwing a grenade to get them moving. Sometimes they'll be right in front of you, sometimes they'll be off to the side. I think, let's see. I'm going to be careful because they will throw grenades at you. Okay, got one of them. The other one jumped out. He wants to EMP me. Oops, I think I missed him. Okay, got him the second time. Now the third one should be up here on the right. And just take him out. take a peek here to see if that elite is by the stairwell. He doesn't look like he is. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be stockpiling plasma pistols, and I do that by juggling the plasma pistol with the storm rifle. Get it up here. Alright, and grab the storm rifle back, and rinse and repeat. There's 3 plasma pistols down here. The one that I brought with me, and one for each of the 2 grunts that I took out, 3 total. Plus there's 3 of them up here for the 3 grunts that I took out up here. So I've got 6 plasma pistols total that I can work with. And notice I'm juggling the weapons over here and then throwing the plasma pistol over the side of the railing. The idea is to juggle the plasma pistol and storm rifle up to here, get that storm rifle up against the railing, and then pick it up, and over the railing goes the plasma pistol. So that when you select it to pick it up, go ahead and have your sight raised a little bit, and that'll get the plasma pistol over the end there. And I'm actually taking all 6 over. This is really a good technique to use when you've got to use a lot of weapons to bring down an enemy. So what we're ultimately going to do here for this elite, and actually there's 2 of them down there, along with 4 more grunts. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a plasma pistol pepper to drop his shields, and then do a headshot. I'm just counting there, by the way. Do a headshot with the pistol, with a magnum. Alright, I guess I got them all here. Okay, over the edge we go, and I'm going to be careful because that first elite down there is a grenade thrower. As soon as he sees you, yeah, he's already thrown 1 grenade. And notice what I'm doing here is I'm swapping the storm rifle and plasma pistols out. I only need 2 on this first bit here. I go underneath the stairs, and that protects me from the elite. And notice I'm just peppering away at the elite here. Alright, and as soon as I run out of ammo with the 1 plasma pistol, I pick up the second one, and down he goes. He lost his shields, and then I took him out. Now that second elite down there will not throw grenades at you if you know, from down there. So we're fairly comfortable juggling weapons to get all the plasma pistols in here, in under the stairwell. And again, the stairwell provides a lot of protection. Now the problem in this particular run, notice how he's ducking into cover on the left. When he stays out in the middle, or he goes to cover on the right, I still have a view of him, and I can pepper him with either storm rifle or plasma pistol fire. But when he goes to the left, he goes into complete cover, and I can't get to him. It's very frustrating. So I'm just taking my time here, hoping that he'll get into a pattern of going to the center and right versus the left. And if I get an opportunity, I'll take out one of those grunts that are down there. Okay, you notice how he's ducking into the left there. Believe me, during the run, I was kind of cussing a little bit. Because you really want him exposed long enough to drop his shields. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we got him out there. Notice I'm using the storm rifle on him. That'll weaken his shields a little bit. Alright, I switch over to the plasma pistol and just start peppering him. Oh, there goes his shields, and boom, headshot, and he's done. So he finally cooperated and stayed out in the middle there. Alright, now I got 3 more grunts to take out. And I'm going to take 2 of them out with headshots. And I'm going to save the last one for a melee here. What I want to, that'll get my shields back. Again, remember the black eye skull. You can only get shields back regenerated if you do a melee. Yeah, there we go. So my shields are back now. Alright, now I'm going to do another juggling act. I want to juggle several of the plasma pistols down in this next room. Coming up, we're going to have 4 grunts, an elite, and 2 shielded jackals. Notice how each encounter is getting a little bit tougher and tougher. Alright, that's 2 of them down there. somehow or other, as it turns out, one of the plasma pistols that I juggled down there was almost out of ammo. Not really sure why. Probably because it was the one I had in hand when I swapped out for the storm rifle. But there is another plasma pistol down there that's that's 100%. Okay, so what we want to do is start with the grunts. You take one or two of them out, and the other 2 or 3 will come around that container, and you can take them out. So that's all the grunts. Now the next thing we want to do, I'm going to ammo up here. The next thing we want to do is deal with the elite. So I'm going to juggle the plasma pistols up here to this white container. Okay. This is the one that was already there, and I believe it's got 100% ammo. That plasma pistol I just picked up, and I'm juggling now. Alright. What I'm trying to do here is get these things together. Didn't want to do that. What I don't want is the jackals to come through the door before I deal with the elite. Okay. You can see the elite there. And he doesn't see me, so when I start peppering him, he's just going to stand there like a knucklehead. Oh, yeah, that's the one I ran out of ammo real quick with. So I'm running back here, looking for the other pistol that I juggled down. I can't find it. There we go. I got another one. And we'll try to do this again. Alright, notice he hasn't moved. He hasn't seen me yet. Peppering shields. His shields aren't that strong. Alright, I just swapped out for another plasma pistol. Alright, his shields just pop. I'm out from hiding. Give him a headshot, take him out, and immediately get behind the container because we're going to have 2 shielded jackals walking in the door. And notice that when they first walk in, they don't have their shields to me, and I have a view of their head so I can get a headshot on them. Like that. So you want to be patient with those 2. Make sure that they advance far enough so that you can get a headshot on them. Alright. I was looking to see if I had a plasma pistol with more ammo. Notice I used the back button there to see which weapon I had. Okay, switching back over to the pistol. Now we're coming into another room. We've got 2 shielded jackals on the right wing and the left wing. I'm going to start with them. Take out the jackal. Be very careful here to get a view of their head without them seeing you, because if they see you, they'll drop that shield. And taking them out is much tougher. Okay, next we got the grunts. There's about 8 of them. And again, like before, we're going to take out all but the last one, because we're going to save that grunt for a melee to get her shields back. There we go. And I'm kind of looking around to see how many grunts are left. And again, you got to be careful with these guys because they will throw grenades at you. If you're not paying attention, you'll get stuck. Alright, I think there's 1 or 2 left. There's 1. Alright. Notice that when he's throwing grenades, you can sidestep the grenade and run past him, turn around, and backsmack him. Okay. Now I know there's an AR out here somewhere, right about here, and I can use that to juggle weapons. We've got to deal with 3 elites coming up, one of which is a concussion rifle elite. And what I'm doing here is I'm juggling plasma pistols up to this spot because I'm going to take out the first elite there. As soon as we juggle everything up here, I'll show you the approach. It's not too difficult. Just again, you got to be a little bit careful because the elite is a grenade thrower. Thanks to the catch skull, which makes all the coveys grenade happy. Okay. So I got plenty of plasma pistols in here to work with. And I'm trying to juggle them all into one spot. There we go. Let's see if I get one or two more. I don't want to advance too far into the room yet, because if I do, then the concussion rifle elite will come out, and that makes dealing with the other elites, or actually the first elite, a little bit tougher. Okay, I think I lost my AR there. That's what I'm looking for, so I finally give up and say, okay, I'll just go with what I have. Oh, there's the AR. How about that? Let's go back over here and grab... Oh, don't want to go that way. Grab another plasma pistol or two. Okay. Jeez. Okay, I'm just trying to get them all together. Alright, here we go. Step out to get the first elite coming at you. And use that container right there as cover. He'll throw grenades, and hopefully he'll be far enough over that notice that the grenades bounce off the container and you don't get stuck. And what I'm doing here is I'm peppering him with the plasma pistol to drop his shields. That time he cooperated, and I was able to pop his shields and get a headshot on him. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a skip with these next two. Alright, I'm beating on the door here, or the window here, to get that third elite out into the room. And that's the one with the concussion rifle. And I'm coming out here on the left. You know, I'm making sure that the elites are aware that I'm on the left. And I come back over to the right, because I got to go through that doorway that that concussion rifle elite down. Notice I just jumped over that elite and just took off running. Now they were throwing grenades at me. That's again thanks to Catch. And I was just able to, you know, jump over. You know, sometimes you have to just kind of dodge the grenade throws. But in that particular situation, I was just able to jump over. And I've actually done that where I have done that with all three of the elites out there. Okay, we're going to do what's called the backdoor skip here now. Without going into a lot of detail, we're going to bypass a major firefight with Coveys to launch a missile and to unjam the blast door. But by coming out here to the right, I'm bypassing all the initial Coveys who are over there on the left. I don't have to fight them to get to the launch key. And it's just run around here, and there's some broken beams and stuff right here. You can just barely see them, and just jump up, jump again, and get yourself just inside here, and then on a diagonal beam, and then walk back up, jump up on this inverted T-beam. And the idea here is to do a crouch jump right there. Of course, it took sometimes I can do that on the first try, but the idea is to crouch jump and hold the crouch. Now, I don't know what I'm doing in this particular run, but you know, it took me, I don't know, however many tries to actually get up here. And I'm walking across this inverted T-beam, trying to position myself properly for the jump. I missed it again. Now I'm starting to cuss. Okay, but you know, just when you just keep trying. Believe me, it's worth the effort here, especially in an all skulls on run. There we go. Hold that crouch all the way through the jump. You won't make it otherwise. Go ahead and activate the missile launch. The blast door is jammed, and now we got to run down here real quick, run across, and unjam the blast door. Now that cruiser's coming in, and it's going to start firing here momentarily. You can see he's firing at us. So we got to get in here and get that blast door. Now notice that I'm all sparkly, and that means my shields are gone, or just about gone. So, but anyway, I mean, we still got a little bit of more work here to do, but we don't have any more combat. We've taken out the cruiser. And by the way, if with the Iron Skull on, Didax scanning the chief there, and As soon as you get control back, you're going to turn around and start running back to the inside. You should be away from the shields. Yep, okay, we got control back, and just run back this way. But with the Iron Skull on, if you die, supposedly you have to restart the mission solo. But if you die and you go ahead and hit the start key and do a save and quit and resume campaign, you can go right back in to the last checkpoint and keep going. That's the difference between a regular legendary all-skull run on and a true mythic run, which requires you to do it with no deaths in one try, front to back, single second. Okay, we come back in here, stop for that explosion because sometimes the blast will kill you if your shields are down like mine are. Come in here, wait for all that stuff to drop so you don't die with the collapsing roof. Run into this room. Again, wait just a tick here so everything explodes and drops so you don't get nailed with flying debris. Now I'm going to go up here and assassinate this grunt and get my shields back. Okay, run through here, do a sprint jump across here. And I just did that assassination just for the heck of it. I really didn't need to because at this point I don't think I would die and the cubbies are not going to be giving me any hassles here. So we've essentially come to the end of the mission here. We're in a forced cutscene. The gravity well has gotten hold of the chief as well as all the cubby ships and pieces of the fortings of Dawn. That's what all this stuff is. So we kind of got to watch him float through space. Ultimately he will fall on the planet Requiem. So that's basically the mission. Dawn, solo, legendary, all skulls on. I hope this helps you in your quest for the weekly campaign challenge. You notice the symbols are showing up. The challenge will pop here momentarily. This is Old Anaki signing off. Take care, everybody.